Hi, guys. Good evening. As we know, this entire week we are celebrating as the Mental Awareness Week, and there are various factors and there are various things which are related to the way you think, the way you behave, your stress issues, your anxiety issues, and the list goes on and on. So this entire live is going to be about how are we going to beat this stress via new food and nutrition. Now this seems so unusual, right? That what we eat, how can it really affect the way you behave, the way you think, and your cognition and your mental health? But exactly, this is so true, and this is the entire exact purpose of today's life, wherein we are going to discuss about different ways how we can combat stress and other stress related issues through food, nutrition, and good diet. But before we start with the exact topic, let me introduce myself. So, I am nutritionist Hanishi Savla. I am nutritionist and a lifestyle educator, a consulting clinical dietitian, wherein we cater to all different type of clinical issues like diabetes, thyroid, PCOS, and other hormonal imbalances as well. I am also a PCOS expert and an antenatal and postnatal diet coach. Well, before beginning with the exact topic, the motto or the funda that I completely believe and I educate and train my clients with is that you are what you eat. Your skin, your hair, the way you think, the way you behave, the way you do your daily activities is all dependent upon what you eat and how you nourish and fuel your body, which is very important in order or for the body to function well and behave and react well with you. So this is very important topic that we are going to be talking about today, that how fueling and nourishing your system and your body is very important for the body to function well and do its daily activities well, and so that the brain can function well, the brain can think well, and we can use our mind and do our daily activities. Now, the funda and the motto that we are talking about is you are what you eat. Now, before getting on to the ways how we can combat stress and how we can deal with the stress and what are the exact causes of stress, let's understand by a very small example which I love giving and I almost believe in, and I give it to almost all my clients and people around me. Let's compare your mind, your body with a car. I am giving you a car which runs and which is at a reserve fuel. And I ask you to drive the car to a particular destination. Of course, it's not going to be possible for the car to move smoothly with very reserve fuel and help us reach the destination in the given amount of time. Compared to a car, when I give a car which is completely tanked up and fueled with the good quality fuel, won't the journey be very easy and won't the journey be really successful and easy for you to reach a particular destination? Absolutely, yes. We will definitely be enjoying and we'll be loving drive that particular car. Now, the same way, you have to compare the car with the body. Now I give you a body, or I am putting you on a diet or giving you different types of food. For example, I am giving you a particular macronutrient and I am telling you that okay, you are not definitely supposed to eat everything is bad for you, but only fats or only proteins are good for you. It's practically impossible for the body to function on only one macronutrient or only one micronutrient. Now, this pressure or this kind of stress to the body definitely impacts your body with the way that your body is going to give you a very temporary type of weight loss, a very temporary type of a lifestyle change. Definitely, it's not going to be a lifestyle change, but a very temporary benefit wherein you are only going to be happy for some time, but at the end of the day, what matters is how healthy you are. Whether or not are you happy with the plan or with the diet that you are following is also very important. Hence, we have to understand this in order to think well, in order to work well, and in order to have a very good temperament and good mental condition. We have to nourish the system well, we have to fuel the system well, and we have to make sure that whether or not are we eating well in order for the body and for the mind to function well. Now, let's exactly get into the very important topic that we have been coming today live, is something about what are the exact causes of stress. Now, as we know, our body goes through various different types of stress in everyday life. Every day, your body goes through something or the other stress, which increases the type of free radicals in your body, increases oxidative stress, which again affects the body and also affects the mind, which increases your anxiety levels and also increases your stress. So let's understand few of the nutritional causes of stress. The first and the most important cause of stress, which I truly believe in, is when someone follows any sort of a fad diet or a shortcut diet or a wrong diet. As we clearly started with this very important topic, that fad diets or any sort of a restrictive diet is punishing your body mentally and internally, wherein completely your body is going through stress. Why does your body go through stress when you are on a typical fad diet or a shortcut diet? In any sort of fad diets, what happens is that we only focus on a single macronutrient or we focus on a single micronutrient. Let's understand this point by giving a very simple example. For example, we are concentrating or focusing on only fats or only protein by following either a keto diet or either a high protein diet. Now, this we are doing so that we achieve the targets very fast in a in a very short span of time. Now, in this case, what happens is, as we compare the body to the car, we are pushing the car forcefully by asking the car to drive and reach the destination only with reserve fuel and only a particular fuel, which of course is not possible for the car to help you reach a particular destination. The same way is your body, as I clearly mentioned before. Your body requires all types of nutrients, in the sense your macronutrients and your micronutrients, to function and to run well. When we deprive the body of any sort of micronutrient or macronutrient, the body, rather than losing fat, loses muscle, which is again a very, very bad consequence that the body deals with. Hence, when we are on a fat diet, for example, we are on something called as a low carb diet, which is super trending these days, that carbs are bad for you. But don't you all feel we have practically forgotten how to eat carbs? Being an Indian and staying in India, I don't think it is possible for any sort of human to go carb free. Now, we all have learned this, that carbs give you energy to do work. Imagine punishing your body by only giving proteins or only giving fats and depriving of the carbohydrates. Hence, in this case, your body breaks down fats or protein to give you glucose, but your carbs are not getting break down because you are depriving your body of carbohydrates. Now, in this sense, what happens is your sense of hungry, which is the hunger induced anger, arises. In this case, you are going to develop an emotion wherein you will eat everything and anything that is available near you, because carbs are practically not there in your diet, which is increasing your stress, increasing your anxiety levels, making you feel more depressed, making you feel more lethargic, because they are not there to give you energy to run throughout the day. Hence, it is a sincere request that we have to completely avoid and get rid of any sort of fad diets, as they do not only affect your hormones, your body, but they also affect your daily life and also the way you think and the way you do your work. So, first pointer is super clear that we are not going to concentrate, or we are not going to be following any such type of the fad diet. Second, and the most important cause of stress is keeping long gap in between the meals. Now, when I say your body is a huge complex system, we all know, right, that your body is a huge complex system. Now, for your body and for your different system and different organs to run well, don't you all think your body has to meet the nutrition requirements at the end of the day? Of course, yes. Now, in this case, what happens is, when we do not meet our nutrition requirements by eating every 2 hourly, your body develops a type of an emotion or a type of a state wherein, when you keep a long gap in between your meals, the next meal you are going to eat everything and anything that is around you. Now, this response is automatically going to increase your fat conversion, of course, because whatever you are eating after a periodically long time is going to increase the fat conversion, and this is also going to increase and peak your sugar levels, which in turn not only is increasing your fat or your fat percentage of the body, but also leads to increased sugar levels, which in turn again affects your sleep and your stress levels. Hence, we have to make sure that keep fueling your body, keep nourishing your body every 2 hourly. There, as we know, there are three main meals, that is your breakfast, lunch, and your dinner. And in between, we need to make sure that we are fueling and nourishing the body with something or the other readily available right in front of us. But we are going to be making sure that we are not depriving the body of nutrients and not keeping very long gaps in between your meals. The third and the most important cause of stress is dehydration. Now, as you all know, uh, uh, being in this busy lifestyle, we definitely forget to drink water, which is what I always tell my clients. Make it a point to keep alarms so that you make it a habit that this is something time wherein I have to fuel and hydrate my body well. Now, as we know, dehydration is something that being in this lifestyle, we go through a lot wherein we forget drinking fluids and our water. Dehydration is at the end again going to lead to bad skin, because your skin is lacking moisture. It affects your hair, wherein there is a lot of hair fall. It also affects the way you are mentally. Now, dehydration affects you in a way wherein your anxiety levels are, of course, increasing. Your anxiety levels increase, and because of dehydration, you are all lethargic. You don't feel like doing anything, and your stress levels and your the way you react to anything also worsens. Hence, we have to make sure we are hydrating ourselves and not depriving ourselves with water. Now, there are various different conditions wherein your stress levels also increase. For example, bloating, for example, indigestion, and caffeine dependency. Now, talking about indigestion, now let's talk what exactly is indigestion. Now, indigestion is something that when you are in stress, you might eat everything and anything that's around you. Hence, this leads to overeating. Now, overeating leads to indigestion and excess of bloating in the body. Now, bloating is something that I am sure we all just do not like. Now, when we say bloating and indigestion, it again has an effect on your mind, wherein you feel very bad. You cannot handle the situation, and again, your body goes through stress, and your mind is all depressed throughout, because we all have this type of condition wherein, until and unless the indigestion or the bloating is not cured, we really do not feel happy. So these are again some of the causes of stress. Now, talking about the causes, of course, we also spoke about how low carb diets can increase your stress levels. They can definitely increase the way you react and can make you feel very bad and very depressed at the end of the day. Again, now coming to what are the effects of stress. Now, stress, as we know, can affect our hormones in a very, very wrong way, as we all know. Now, as we know, different types of diseases, for example, diabetes, PCOS, thyroid, all are stress is something which is a major cause for all of the diseases. Why is stress the major cause for all of these diseases? Is that whenever we are stressed, our body releases cortisol and adrenaline, which is two types of stress hormones. Now, these hormones, when they increase in the body, it leads to increased anxiety. Increased anxiety again leads to more hormonal production in the body, more stress. So, do you all understand this type of vicious cycle that the body goes through? Hence, in any sort of condition wherein if someone is suffering from thyroid, from diabetes, PCOS, or any sort of hormonal issues, it's very important to calm down. It's very important to relax. It's very important to meditate, exercise well, because as we know, exercise releases happy hormones. So, of course, we cannot afford our body to keep in stress, because we know stress indirectly affects the way your hormones behave, and also makes you more susceptible to a lot of hormonal diseases and metabolic diseases. Hence, this is also one of the effect of stress. Now, more stress in the body, we all go through this, right? Whenever we are stressed, we either get sugar cravings, or we have certain types of food that we are very attached to, and we feel like eating that food on and often again. Now, this is something wherein excess or more of stress again leads to increase of sugar cravings. Now, as your sugar cravings increase, we know that your sugar levels go at peak. Of course, that sugar again gets converted into fat, leading to increased fat percentage of the body, which makes your body more susceptible to certain metabolic issues like obesity, insulin resistance, thyroid, PCOS, and the list goes on and on. Hence, these are all several effects of stress that your body experiences when your anxiety levels are completely at a peak. Now, y'all must be questioning, as we've all discussed about what are the exact causes and what does stress lead to. Let's talk about a very important topic, as in how can we combat this stress. I think y'all must all be very eager to know about what are the exact reasons and ways to combat this type of stress. Now, nutritional therapies are many for how you can combat stress. Now, first and the most important thing that I would like to bring into notice is we have to eat every 2 hourly. Now, as I have told you this, and I am again telling you this, there are a lot many different reasons why we have to eat every 2 hourly in order to combat stress. When we keep lot of gap in between our meals, when we do not eat well, when we do not fuel well, and when we do not meet our nutrition requirements, it of course leads to a behavior where in the next meal we eat double the amount, which again leads to increase of fat in the body. Hence, we have to make sure that to keep our anxiety issues at par, we have to make sure that we are eating every 2 hourly. Now, second and the most important is we have to hydrate ourselves enough. Your water is very, very crucial for your brain's cellular activity. Excess and or dehydration or very less amount of water affects your brain's cellular activity, and hence I think we all notice this. The time when we are completely dehydrated, our mind does not have the capacity to think well, to function well, or to do any activity, because we are all lethargic throughout. Hence, we have to make sure that we are hydrating ourselves enough. The third and the most important point is exercise, which is very important again. Exercising releases your happy hormones. Now, when I say it releases your happy hormones, means your Hormones, there are of course two types of hormones. One is your happy hormones and the other are your stress hormones. So exercise increases the serotonin hormone, which is a type of a happy hormone. So we have to make sure that in order to stay happy, in order to stay mentally fit, and in order to stay fresh and fit throughout, we have to make sure that we are exercising well. Now coming to a very important topic is there are certain nutrition deficiencies that also lead to stress. Now, for example, B12 deficiency. Now, B12 is something that I feel everyone ignores, and even if their reports show very low levels of B12, they are completely ignorant and they go through a lot many things which they might not even come to know that it's really affecting their body. B12 excess or very low of B12, sorry, deficiency of B12, of course, affects your mental health in a way. It affects your mental health in a way that it has also reported that it leads to a lot of depression and other mental issues. Hence, we have to make sure that your B12 levels are at par. So make sure we are supplementing ourselves. If we are vegetarian, definitely we have to supplement our with the B12 medicines and supplements on time. If you are an alcoholic and if you are again a non-vegetarian, it really does not make a point because excess of alcohol leaches all the B12 away. So we have to make sure that our B12 requirements are met properly. Again, magnesium deficiency leads to sleep. Now, magnesium is something which is a very important mineral that is responsible for our stress and for our sleep cycles, wherein it calms down your mind. It also activates the sleep cycle and it activates certain activities in our body that helps us release and that helps us completely combat stress and it helps us get good sleep. So we have to make sure that magnesium, we are including good sources of magnesium like your legumes, your nuts, your seeds, your beans, green leafy vegetables. Or if you are someone who goes through a lot of stress issues or a lot of sleeping issues, magnesium supplement is your completely go-to start with because as I told you, it really helps relieves anxiety. Now, these were few several different ways, nutrition ways on how we can combat stress and how we can go through stress. Now, concluding this entire topic, I'm definitely sure you all must have understood how food and what you eat plays a very important role in your behavior, your mental capacity, your mental health, your cognition, and whatnot. Again, coming to a very important way of how to combat stress issues and maintain your mental health is putting on or adding on a lot of anti-inflammatory food and antioxidants in your diet. Antioxidants like your vitamin C, your zinc, your selenium, your berries, your avocados, your fatty fish, your nuts are a very good source of antioxidants, and also we have to pump up on our omega-3 sources. Now, when I say omega-3 sources, of course, there are again a lot of vegetarian sources also. For example, our flax seeds, our chia seeds, all different types of seeds like your sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, your nuts, your fatty fish is again a type of a non-vegetarian source. So we have to make sure that we are increasing a lot of anti-inflammatory foods and antioxidant foods in this in the diet because as we know these two help in combating the inflammation or the stress that the body goes through. So again, this is an add-on or as in how are we going to keep our mental health going on. Choosing high biological value protein. Now when I say choosing high biological value protein are all your animal proteins like your eggs, your chicken, your animal, basically all the animal protein are your high biological value protein because a good protein and meeting our protein requirements is also going to help us maintain our cognition and also helps in the mental development, be it child or be it adult. Proteins are extremely important as we know for mental health also. So this was all about how your nutrition or different types of foods are playing very important in the stress and in your sleep cycles. Let's just wind up this topic by giving and concluding on a very important line, which is you are what you eat, your mind is what you eat, The better you nourish or the better you fuel your body, your mind is fueled, your mind is nourished. Hence, when your mind is nourished, when your mind is fueled, you can think well, you can do well, you can multitask, which I feel most of women and girls are doing these days, and you can do your regular activities in much better way. So let's just lead a stress-free life by not only doing certain activities, but by also eating well and nourishing our system and fueling our system well. I hope this live was super insightful for you guys, and you'll have already taken away a lot many notes and a lot many different knowledge about how food and nutrition can make a vast difference to your body and to your mental health. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you all have definitely enjoyed this session.